Hi, folks. Wanted to offer another interesting little health post here. This one's neither an update or what life is like, so much as an explanation of a recent episode. I am, for those need to catch up, I am undiagnosed and largely homebound, unable to move most of the time. I can move about, but repetitive motion will make me not able to move. There's also a lot of pain involved. So anyway, the other night I had a very bizarre episode hit. I used to have episodes where I would go from relatively normal to unable to move for a while, and then that became relatively permanent earlier this year. So now I have different episodes where things are just really weird. So the other night, I would say I didn't do anything overly active that day. I mean, I wasn't sitting at home all day. We did leave the house, but I did not walk around that much. So I'm home and I just start to feel weird. Not really mentally, but my body starts to feel kind of tingly, kind of a little fuzzy, in a way that's concerning. And then it's increasing. I'm in a lot of pain at this point. Which, considering I had taken, like Tylenol and ibuprofen and all the stuff, I was doing all the things. I shouldn't have been in that much pain for how little I had moved. I was in a lot of pain. And then I start to feel my legs and my arms become heavy. And at this point, I'm laying down in bed. I can't really walk around or move. And my legs and arms get heavy, real heavy. And then, everything is tingly, everything is fuzzy, everything is kind of buzzing. It's like vibrating or oscillating, particularly on the leg and arm areas in particular. And you can just feel this sensation of something happening. And then what else? Mentally, no, I was not doing great. I was very much freaking out at the time about what was happening. Cause also keep in mind, like, we don't know what is causing this. We don't know how bad it can get. I have had difficulty breathing. And I have gone to the ER where they say I am so healthy, I'm so healthy. So, like, the fear is valid and real at times. So I'm starting. My arms and my legs are heavy. I'm able to move, but it takes a lot of effort, physically and mentally. So at this point, my hands and my feet, particularly my feet, they feel very distant. They feel very foreign. And like I go to move them, they move. Again, I'm very weak. It's very difficult, but I can move. But it feels weird. It feels like it's not connected to my body. Um, Now, as things are moving, I have uh, my legs start to like burn, really burn. Not the skin, and it's not really hot to the touch, but my flesh is like burning hot on the inside and still oscillating and moving and just like buzzing. And it's I can't even really describe it that well. I'm doing my best. And then my feet are cold, touch them. They're like a little cold. But they just feel so distant. And again, I touch them, I can feel them. I'm not paralyzed, but it feels so distant and so far away, so hard to move. Like it's a different place. Um, And then I just, it's like this, it's almost like something's released into all of my muscles, and it's pulsing and it's burning. And it's at that point, it wasn't necessarily like a painful burn. It's just, it's warm. It's like you're being cooked. Um, and Yeah, throughout all of that, it was very difficult to move. And again, like, I could a little bit. I mean, I had people taking care of me. Um, and I couldn't even like scooch up to drink my drink. I don't think. I think I needed help with that because I just didn't. I couldn't move that much. And I don't know how long it really lasted. I would say after an hour, um, the scary parts were over, but definitely, for the remainder couple hours I was awake that night, my legs were very warm while also my feet were cold and very distant, and I just kind of had a general extreme weakness and inability to move. And then, I wake up the next day, and my legs are like, wow, they're just totally normal. For like 10 minutes. I don't know how long it was, maybe half an hour, but like for going down unable to move, and then I wake up and like there are different phases of weakness I have, and many times they're all at the same time, but not always. And that following morning, I had just the weakness of my like lost muscle mass. I'm pretty much homebound, largely bedridden for the last 6 months. So I've definitely lost a lot of strength and a lot of muscle mass. So what I was feeling that next morning was just the fact that my legs are freaking weak. Um, but yeah, after probably half an hour or so, or an hour of moving about and getting ready for the day, I was pretty much back at square one of like, no, I can't really do much. But we did get out of the house and made it up to Art Prize in Grand Rapids for a little bit. It was very nice. I know it was a lot of work for everyone in my life because there's kids and people have their own bodies they're taking care of, and they gotta fucking haul my ass around too. But it was really nice to be able to do anything in general, and particularly after having a very scary and like, what the heck was that episode. And then another thing that I've been tracking since then also, um, I didn't feel anything major happening in my hands that night, but I could definitely say the 2 weeks leading up to that episode, I had just really bad hand pain, like hand pain I hadn't had in a while. And ever since then, I would say my hand pain is back to kind of just my normal baseline hand pain versus heightened episodic hand pain. So I do think, there are these there are these transitional periods I go through where I oscillate through fucking something. And I've had this before my big episode in March that hasn't let up, the permanent one. um I felt my hands swelling. They were just felt so swollen, um particularly at night and when I would wake up. And I think I even had an ultrasound on my hand, and they're like, they're not swollen at all, there's zero swelling. And I'm like, what am I feeling? um but yeah, a lot of weird stuff. And then as soon as the episode hit, that swelling, whatever I was feeling then, was gone. um so yeah, someday we're gonna figure it out. Probably connected to that RYR1 genetic variant that we have, that I have, and we'll get there eventually, or